Hello, hello, hello. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Thank you so much for joining me. My name is Jackie and I am forever faithful. Hope you all are well out there today. Um, I'm doing pretty good, just doing my affirmations and keeping some good high vibes and being grateful for everything. But I was just sitting here and I was thinking about like my first supernatural experience, one that I could not deny, right? And I was like, so much happens in our childhood that we often forget or suppress. And I had a lot of things happen in my childhood that I did not understand, could not explain, or whatever. So I said, okay. And I'm just going to recall my very first experience with undeniable protection that there's something there. So I was in high school. I was leaving school, which was about 2 blocks from my house. And I would always take this shortcut. The kids in the neighborhood would take this shortcut on this residential street that connected to our street, right? So it's like, okay. And most of the road is paved, but there's a part of this road that is unpaved. And the owner of the land chose not to pave the area. The house sits on the hill. It's around a curve. It's hilly, and there's a lot of woods, bushes and trees around. So it's not easy to see. You can't see very much from my street or the other residential street that connect to each other. So anyway, I'm leaving school, and my first thought, and maybe it wasn't my thought, but I think it was really God, divine creator, was telling me to take the scenic route, to take the long route. And I didn't take the long route because our streets didn't have sidewalks, and it was hilly. So I was afraid. I was afraid of being hit by a car that wouldn't see me until it's too late, right? And it would hit me. So I decided that day to go ahead and just take my usual route. And I did. I started on that path, on the shortcut. But as I got closer, as I was walking on the street and I was getting to the end of the paved area, and I was going towards the unpaved area, the dirt, the gravel area, right? I noticed that it was getting harder for me to walk. Like, I'm a teenager. I'm like freaking 14 or something. I'm a teenager, and I'm like, this is weird. This is so weird. Why is it that I'm having problems walking? Every step that I took, it just became harder and harder. It became harder for me to lift my legs, to even move it, to put one foot in front of each other. And then it just got to the point where I just felt like I was doing a freaking workout with my legs, and it just felt like I was walking in tar at one point. I was like, okay. And as I continued to take step after step, there was something in front of me that was stopping me. I could not see a thing. I could not feel a thing. No, like physically feel. But I knew there was something in front of me that was pushing me back, not to continue on this path. And I was like, okay, this is so weird. I was a little freaked out. I'm on a residential street, people home or whatever. Nobody's out or anything. But I can only imagine if somebody was watching me out their window. I was like, what is wrong with that child? Like, why is she having problems walking? Like, what is she doing? Like, is this a new dance or something? I don't know. Slow motion dance? I don't know. But it probably looked crazy. I looked crazy trying to lift my leg up to walk, to put it in front of the other foot. It was crazy. So I said, okay, well, obviously something is trying to prevent me from taking that path. So I said, okay, I'm going to turn around and I'm going to walk in the opposite direction, right? I'm just going to go back to the way I came and take the scenic route. You know, as soon as I turned around to walk in the other direction, in the opposite direction, that I had no problem walking at all. No problem. And I was like, oh, wow, okay, for sure, something. What? Who? What? I don't know. But it was something protecting me from taking that path. And I said, okay, I don't know what it is and I don't know why this is happening, but I'm just going to be obedient. I'm just going to take the scenic route. And I did take that scenic route. And that was really my first undeniable supernatural experience. And that's when I knew for sure that there's a whole world that I cannot see that exists. There are things or something that's around me that I cannot see with my physical eyes, but it's protecting me. And and I thought about who it could possibly be, and my first initial thought was probably my creepy, perverted neighbor who had been trying to get me alone for years. Or it could have been any of the guys in my neighborhood my age, which was mentally, in my opinion, mentally disturbed for sure. Or it could have been I just knew whatever it was I was being protected from it was going to cause me so much harm, so much pain. It was going to cause me harm and a lot of pain or death. Like, I knew that it was extreme. I knew that it was drastic. I knew that I would never, ever be the same had I taken that. But that was my first undeniable experience. And since then, I've always had some peace within knowing that there's something around me that's protecting me. And that was very comforting to know. Very comforting to know, because had someone told me then that I was going to have the life that I've had and had so many different experiences, and quite often traumatic experiences, that I would be not as calm, not as faithful, right? But I always had that, I guess, in the back of my mind, that whole experience, that something is always there to protect me, to guide me. And it's quite comforting. But anyway, I just wanted to share that with you all. Have you had any childhood experiences that you just couldn't explain? And maybe recently